Okay, it's recording.
Thank you. And can y'all see me? You cannot see me. Okay. Blur my background, rename, mute my audio. No. It says start video, stop video, right? All right, my video is on. And there's nothing.
Did you exit out of the Teams one? Because that one was using your camera.
I did. That would be really weird to not have a video, right?
I think that's not mandatory.
Not mandatory? Okay. Well, if Brent comes in and he can help me, then great. Otherwise, I think we'll just go ahead and get started. So, hi, everybody. I am Leah Dawson. I'm the Student Services Coordinator for GISD and part of Leading Shack. And so before we get started, we need to take roll and make sure we get everybody that's in attendance. And so if you would just introduce yourself, tell us your name and the role you play. Are you a parent, a community member, an employee for GISD, doctor, etc.? So let's start with you, Amy Whitley.
Hi, I'm Amy Whiteley. I'm the Child Nutrition Director for Granbury ISD.
Okay, Heather Buffkin.
I'm Heather Buffkin. I am with Brazos Pregnancy Center.
Okay. Let's see. Is it Swats?
You're muted, Miss Dr. Watts.
Try again. How's that? Hi, I'm Dr. Shannon Watts. I'm just been with Shack for a few years, and I'm a local pediatrician. I work for Cook Children's here in Granbury.
Okay. How about Lauren?
Okay, I'm Lauren Brunner. I'm the nurse at Acton Elementary, and I also serve with Leah as health coordinator for the district.
Hi, I'm Leah. I'm here. Thank you. Okay, wow, technical difficulties. Thank you, Lauren. Okay, Erica.
Hello, Erica Espinoza, mental health counselor with Communities and Schools. I'm at the high school and the 2 middle schools. And then the other social worker is here, but she went to go help Kim Spencer because I don't think she hopped over.
Okay.
And her name's Sydney Taylor.
Perfect. Thank you. Other Erica.
I am the other Erica. I am a social worker at Bacchus Elementary with Communities and Schools.
Awesome. Tracy.
I'm Tracy Cooper Ives. Did y'all change this whole thing because I couldn't get on Microsoft Teams?
No, it was several people.
Okay.
So, yeah. Look, Stacy's like, yes, it's all about you. We did it.
That was so stressful. Anyway, so Tracy Cooper Ives with the Paluxy River Children's Advocacy Center.
Awesome. Tammy.
Tammy Clark. I work in the central admin at GISD.
Carmen.
Hi, I'm Carmen Chandler. I'm the counselor at Bacchus Elementary.
Lauren. Oh, you've
going
already gone. Sorry. No, sorry. Kelly.
Hey, y'all, I'm Kelly Subcheck. I am the T-Chat Program Manager for Texas A&M.
Awesome. And the other Erica, did you come back? You want to introduce yourself? Or no, not Erica. Who is it? Yes, sorry.
Hi, I'm Sydney Taylor. I'm the new CIS program manager over here at Granbury High School.
Awesome. Jamie.
I'm Jamie Hamrick, and I am a parent. I have a kid at the high school and one at the junior high.
Awesome. And Amy.
Amy Pugh, here I am, but I don't know how to figure out my camera, so I apologize. I'm a parent of 3 boys, 1 in the high school and 2 at the middle school.
Awesome. If you close out your Microsoft Teams meeting, then your camera, click off of it and then back on, and it will should work. That's what I had to do. But if not, it's okay. Lisa? Is Lisa there? Lisa Harden? I don't see her little mute.
Self, but she's in it.
There she is. Lisa, can you hear us? Okay, well, we can't hear her. She is the sweet, beautiful nurse at Emma, the pre-K campus. And Betsy, are you there?
Yes, I'm Betsy. Oh, no video. Sorry. I'm a parent of 2 kids at Membrano Elementary.
Awesome. Thank you for being here. Okay, is that everybody? I didn't leave anyone off, did I? Oh, yes. Kim.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Introduce yourself.
And I'm
Tell us who you
Stacy.
are.
I'm Kim Spencer. I'm one of the high school counselors.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Stacy, did I get you? Or Nimsy, you go.
I'm Nimsy Landeros. I'm with Communities and Schools. I'm the program manager here at GMS.
Awesome. Okay, thank you all for joining. I wish that this was not being recorded after such difficulties and craziness, but here we are on our first virtual SHAC meeting. We are trying it virtual this year to get more attendance and participation. Last year, our last 2 meetings, we had such low participation that we just tried to figure out a way to increase that. And I reached out to several other districts to see the ones that were doing it virtually, why they went virtual and if it helped. And they all said that it increased their attendance greatly, And so we're trying it and we'll see. If we don't get good attendance, then maybe next year we'll go back to in person. So we'll play that by ear. Just a little overview of SHAC. It's an advisory group of individuals selected to advise the district on coordinated school health programming and its impact on student health and learning. We do not approve anything as a SHAC group. We simply discuss and recommend things to the Board of Trustees for their approval. SHAC provides an efficient, effective structure for creating and implementing age-appropriate sequential health education programs and early intervention and prevention strategies that can easily be supported by local families and community stakeholders. So that's a little bit about our SHAC. All SHAC meetings will be recorded and minutes are taken, and the agenda is posted online 72 hours prior to the meetings. Any record of votes that we take are included in our minutes. And then after today's meeting, this video will be posted on the GISD website within 24 hours of the meeting. Our membership includes 5 members adopted by the school board, and SHAC must have more parents than employees, and parents may not be employed by GISD. So a little bit about SHAC. Today, we're going to have our social workers that we have working with GISD. I would like for them to just introduce themselves and kind of explain their roles of how they work with our schools and what they do. So Erica Espinoza, do you want to start us off and tell us about you and your role?
Yeah, and I was going to just share a little bit about what CIS is also.
Perfect.
Okay, so thank y'all for having us. I'm Erica Espinoza, the mental health counselor with Communities and Schools here in Granbury ISD. And Communities and Schools is a national organization. The mission is to surround students with a community of support, empowering them to stay in school and achieve in life. There are actually 111 affiliates nationwide, and we are CIS, Communities and Schools of Greater Tarrant County. So we're one of them. The Tarrant County affiliate is in 71 schools across 11 school districts. And our affiliate has 2 programs through which we serve students. So the case management side and the mental health side. Through the case management program, social workers called program managers provide individualized case management plans, connecting students and their families with wraparound support and local services and resources they need for the student to be well supported and to achieve academic success. The program managers manage a caseload of around 78 students. And then through the mental health supports program, a licensed clinician addresses the mental health needs of students through one-on-one counseling on school campuses. And I manage a caseload of up to 30 students at a time, providing each with weekly 30 to 15-minute counseling sessions. In Granbury, we have 3 program managers, one at Bacchus, one at GMS, one at the high school, and then 1 mental health counselor. And I serve the high school, the GMS, and AMS. And then I'll let the program managers introduce themselves and share what their role looks like at their schools.
Perfect.
Do you wanna go first?
I can go first. So I'm at the high school, and so basically my main job is just to kind of be another trusted adult on campus, providing resources for students, which can include anywhere from like a food pantry, clothing closets, making sure that they have everything that they need at home and at school to make sure they're successful. And then we also do kind of college and career readiness, just as another, I know the counselors do that also, but just as another support. We also do like behavior and mental health support, and just like I said, just another trusted adult on campus. So
Perfect. And then Nimsy, do you want to go?
Yes. So I'm at the GMS, Granbury Middle School, the GMS, as Nova Day says. I work closely with the counselors, but specifically, I manage our clothes closet and the weekend snack bags. And then I'm also in charge of our mentoring program, where we connect students with a community member, and they eat lunch with them for 30 minutes in their lunchtime, and just have an adult that encourages them and motivates them to stay in school, just like I do. And I have a caseload, working on a caseload of about 78 students or more. And so I just work with them and look over their grades, attendance, and behavior, and make sure they're doing good in school, and also providing resources for families. And I have also been helping with the Spanish-speaking families, and connecting them to resources, and working closely with them.
Awesome. And Sydney? Is she not on here? Nope.
No, she spoke first.
Oh, she spoke first. Sorry.
She's with Erica. Yes.
Okay, so
other
I
Erica.
missed one then. I got
But
both
it's me,
Ericas.
second
Oh, it's
Erica.
you. I'm like, okay,
Yes.
sorry.
No, you're okay. My name is Erica Scott. I am at Bacchus Elementary. I work very closely with our school counselor. I run our clothing closet here. I do lunch groups. I have a girl and boy group for each grade level, and they meet once every other week. And we go over topics that have to do with like self-control, things like that. I also, again, I'm here for resources, and so if a parent needs help finding a certain thing, if we don't know about it directly, I research it. And so those are some of the things that I offer here. But between all 3 of us plus other Erica, we do similar things, but it really comes back to just being an extra resource and being someone who can, do things and connect to the community.
Awesome. So well, we can ask questions about the end, but I do have a couple questions. So let's move on to the next thing, and we will go to Amy. I say Whitley, it's Whiteley. Is that correct? Amy, correct me. And then you can tell us, she's going to give us an update on the wellness plan. She's the director of our child nutrition. So thank you, Amy.
Thank you. So the attachment that was sent in the original link, it's actually the policy. It's not the plan. So I sent that to you incorrectly. Sorry, Leah.
That's okay.
So it's our wellness policy. And as a district, we're required to have a local wellness policy because we operate our national school lunch and school breakfast programs Back in 2006 and 7, this was what was a requirement. And then in 2016, 17, it was to be reviewed again for any type of revisions. And it was the final rule required for districts. We have not updated our policy since 2007, and going over this information and looking at other districts' policies, ours was extremely vague. It didn't have a whole lot of detail to it. So I started to go through and look to see what we needed to add that would benefit our students. So I'm not sure who all has, and I can't do the screen share thing. But I'm not sure who has the attachment. I can just go through some of the things that I've added.
I can share it if you want to see that.
Okay, that would be great. Thank you, Tammy. Yes. But for those of you that don't know what the school wellness policy is, it's basically a policy that helps promote student wellness, the nutrition side of things, and then the physical activity side of things as well. There you go. Perfect. So all the areas that are highlighted in yellow have either been changed or added. The SHAC does review this policy. We can review it annually or whenever a change is made. And then it does have to go before the board to be approved. Once there's a policy approved, then we can make a plan to determine what are our goals going to be and how are we going to follow up with those and make sure we're following our policy. So on the first page, I just added that, it will be advised, we will advise the board on any changes annually or as needed. Then under the wellness plan, I revised on number 5. It did say originally district standards for foods and beverages sold to students during the day on school campus. Well, we have to also talk about if they're provided and they're not sold to students. There's a difference between the two rules. And then on number 6, alternative reward options for schools to offer students other than food. We know there's a lot of kiddos that get rewarded by different food options. So what can we do to do something different than is food? District standards for physical education requirements, the district standard for safe and supportive school environment. And then on the next page, number 9, district school health programs for social, emotional, mental, and physical well-being. That whole section is going to be new. Whoop. So, Tammy, if you can go down, thank you. There we go. And then again, the SHAC shall review and revise as needed on an annual basis any revisions to the wellness policy. Then in the nutrition guidelines, a lot of this is new. It was extremely vague. It didn't have a whole lot of detail to it. After going through and looking at our nutrition requirements for our different federal programs, this was important to put in there. So it starts off with the highlighted areas to establish guidelines for food and beverages available to any student during the regular school day. And a lot of people don't understand that the school day, according to TDA, is going to be it's going to be midnight before instructional day begins and 30 minutes after instructional day ends. So that's the time frame that school day is according to Texas Department of Agriculture. Then the second one, ensure that all school stores and vending machines that are accessible to students during the regular school day contain only items compliant with federal rules for smart snacks. So we have something called smart snack foods. They have to meet specific requirements. We put the information on the nutritional label into a calculator, and it tells us if that item can be Smart Snack or not, and that can be sold during the school day. Then the next one, encourage students, staff, and families to make healthy food and beverage choices and strive to increase student participation in breakfast and lunch programs through marketing and providing nutrition education on benefits of eating healthy meals. So just promoting healthy eating and kids to participate in school meals. Provide sufficient scheduled time for students to eat meals in facilities that are clean, safe, and comfortable. Adhere to Smart Snack nutrition standards for foods and beverages available for purchase by students during the school day. There shall be no sale of items during breakfast and lunch. So, for instance, we have what's called a competitive food rule, and we cannot have another organization selling food during breakfast and lunch serving periods. Then ensure that any fundraisers taking place during the school day involving food meant for immediate consumption is compliant with Smart Snack rules, unless there's 6 exempt days that a campus can have per school year to do a fundraiser. So if they want to sell something to the kiddos, then they have 6 exempt days for that school year. But you have to keep in mind, they can't sell it during breakfast or lunch. And then I had added this because this was in some other districts' policies. Adhere to a maximum of 3 exempt classroom party days per school year. So if they're wanting to do a holiday party, an end to school party, something like that, then having 3 for the year, and then letting my department know what days those are going to be is going to help us make sure that we don't prepare more meals than we need to, because we know that there's some classrooms that want to have like pizza brought in for a classroom party. Well, if I'm preparing more meals than I need to, then that's just wasted food. So this just kind of helps us determine how much food do we need to prepare on those specific days. Do you have any questions so far?
All I would say on condensing of this one is I think that bullet point on this section, bullet point 2 and bullet point 5 could probably be together, because school stores and vending machines have to be compliant with Smart Snacks. And then you go to 5, adhere to Smart Snacks for purchase, which is the same thing. Right? So those 2 can be condensed, and then add that no sale during breakfast or lunch serving times.
Okay. That sounds good.
I would condense those that way.
All right. Okay, I can definitely do that. Then on the next page, so wellness goals for your nutrition promotion and comprehensive health education. So the health education piece is new. So it's instruction on mental and emotional health, violence, injury prevention, tobacco, alcohol, and other drug use prevention, and then also nutrition and physical activity. So that section is going to be new. Then
Amy, can I ask a quick question? I'm sorry. I was just going to say, those specific topics are included in the grade level TEKS for health and physical education. And so they're very appropriate for the grade level that's being taught. And so our PE teachers, our health teachers, we adopted PE and health last year, a specific, or 2 years ago with the curriculum, many people were on there. I just want everybody to know that those are very grade level appropriate requirements. And even though it may not have been in the wellness policy, it's been in the student essential knowledge and skills in health that was revised 2 years ago. And the SHAC committee put those, in front of the board as well. So just to double check, I just wanted to make sure, especially in that specific area. Sorry, Amy.
No, that's okay. So is it appropriate to include it here, or do we need to remove it?
It's a requirement. I mean, the students have to be taught PE and health in the grade levels through 8th grade, it's required. And then there's 1 credit for physical fitness that typically they get at the middle school, so that they can do UIL, athletics, etc. So I don't know that it is specifically needed in this policy, but I will defer to our policy expert, Tammy Clark.
Say that, we already took care of this in a different place. And it's in the AJA. If you leave that in there, I think you could say, this is taken care of through, grade level TEKS in those courses. And that way, there's no question where it's at, because this is our local policy. So we can have that disclaimer.
Okay. All right. And then going down further, number 5, 6, and 7. And this might need to be removed because we kind of just talked about that a little bit. District has partnered with TChat, and I think that's another T on the end. Okay. And then all health program meet the
Coupon
T.
code won't work now.
And then it's the opt-in process for the student health programs. Again, do we need to just take that out since it's in the other area that was approved already by the board?
I like the TChat reference. That is something new that the Leah and the counselors had added on. So I like having that number 5. And then number 6, all health programs do meet the TEKS, that the curriculum was approved by the board last year, and it's implemented that parent and guardian opt-in process. Yes. I like them reinforced right where they're at. What do you think, Tammy?
I agree.
Okay, perfect. All right, next, physical education and activity. I went through and kind of was more specific in what each grade level was required for physical education. I don't know if we want to be that specific, or if that's okay.
We can stay with that specificity because that's what's required.
Okay. All right, next page. So then on number 4, these are new. Neither physical education nor physical activity shall be withheld from students or assigned to students as a punishment. On a weekly basis, at least 50% of a physical education class shall be used for actual student physical activity, and the activity shall be, to the extent practicable, at a moderate to vigorous level.
So we took that straight from statute.
Yep. Okay, then other school-based activities. Number 3, the district shall provide students and the community with positive, encouraging messages about healthy lifestyle practices. And then the district cares about the well-being of staff members and understands the influence that staff actions and messages have on all student health behaviors. All staff shall promote a school environment supportive and healthy behaviors. Adults are encouraged to model good health behaviors, especially on school property and at school-sponsored meetings and events. Schools are encouraged to support staff wellness initiatives. And then this is the new section. It's the safe and supportive environment. And the district shall create for all students and staff a safe and supportive school environment that are culturally proficient, inclusive, and provides skill-based education and access to support services. Students shall learn to value healthy relationships and environments, possess the necessary knowledge and skills to use safe health practices, and access resources and services to support their personal health, including community health resources and school-based health centers. That was a mouthful.
Is all of
That's
this
great.
is in the state policy? Is
Yes.
this verbatim in the state policy, so it's just copy pasted from
Mhm.
state to local? Okay.
Then prevention and intervention-based work shall address and integrate social health, emotional health, mental health, behavioral health, physical health, suicide prevention, and violence prevention. These efforts shall create a safe and supportive learning environment that optimizes academic outcomes for all students. Then to ensure food safety and security for all students, no outside food or beverages shall be provided to students during the breakfast and lunch periods by anyone other than student's own parent or guardian or other authorized adult. And then last, to support food safeguard security of our students for the purpose of celebrating birthdays and other special occasions, a parent or guardian shall be allowed to bring only prepackaged store-bought items in the original packaging for the consumption by students other than his or her own child. Such celebrations shall not occur during breakfast or lunch times.
Oftentimes in our local policy, if it's a cut and paste from the state policy, it just says the local districts will follow all state guidelines under this subheading or something like that. I can copy and paste it into an email for you that you could just, then it can shorten the local policy.
Okay. Okay, perfect. And then under evaluation, the federal requirement is a minimum of every 3 years that we have to evaluate. And then I just did, if there was any content change in implementation of the wellness policy. But that's pretty much it. I mean, I just elaborated a little bit more looking at other districts' policies because I felt like ours was extremely vague. I think it was kind of thrown together for an audit at one point, and we needed to make it a little more proficient. But those are my proposals.
Okay, so thank you, Amy. That was a lot, but it was very informative and very good. I think we should go ahead and vote as a SHAC committee of whether we want to take this to the board for approval. And the best way, I guess, to do that is if you will put in the chat on the bottom, if you vote that yes, you approve of it and are ready to take it to the board, just put yes. And if you have issues with it or don't agree with something or want to look at it further, put no. And then we will go from there and then we'll add it up. And if you did not make the meeting, but you are watching online, if you want to email me at leah.dawson@granburyisd.org with your vote, I will add that in there. So if y'all will chat it up. Okay, so while everyone's doing that, we'll go on and continue. And Tracy Ives, she is here and she partners with us from the Child Advocacy Center since we adopted our new health teak. So she's going to tell us a little bit about how she partners with us. Oh, you're still muted, Tracy. There you go. Oh,
sorry. Okay. Well, we provide prevention education for pre-K through whatever grade we're doing in high school this year. I think it's freshman and 11th. Anyway, so we just do, it's child sexual abuse, but it also includes physical abuse, neglect, emotional abuse, and any type of victimization, cyberbullying, bullying. So all of those things. So basically these are things that we've done for a long time and it was approved by the board. So according to, tell me if there's more you want me to share, Leah, but Senate Bill 9 requires that we provide 2 parent meetings to let parents have an opportunity to look at the curriculum, to ask any questions, And the first one of those meetings for us will be today at 4 o'clock as a virtual. And then tomorrow at 5:30 is in person at the administration building. So those will happen, and then parent letters have to go home. And these are letters of consent, which means that parents, and they have to have these 14 days before the presentation, and parents have to sign the letter and turn it in order for the child to be in that presentation. And that is the biggest challenge, because these are not opt-out letters. These are letters that we have to get signed and turned in. And so anyone that knows a parent, please encourage them to look for those letters and sign them and come to the meetings. And on the letters, it gives my information. I am so happy to talk to any parent, email, whatever, if they have questions. And I do have GMS scheduled, and I'm waiting to schedule other schools at this point, because we can go ahead and get that moving now.
Perfect. I think,
is there anything else you want me to?
No, I think that's great. I was just going to add that we are really promoting it to parents. We blasted it out a week ago that the virtual meeting is tonight and the in-person is tomorrow. And then we also sent out a reminder today, just so people can jump on tonight to see the presentation, for parents to have an opportunity to see exactly what is being presented. So thank you, Tracy.
Yeah.
Anybody else have anything for Tracy?
I was just going to double check, Leah, the presentations are linked in the website, in our GISD website, to make sure that they can see the presentation at any time. They just have the opportunity to engage with Tracy tonight, so that it's not just a one-shot deal. Oh, you missed tonight, kind of a thing. Yeah.
Right. Thank you for mentioning that. And we're also going to record Tracy tomorrow when she does the in-person, and then we're going to put her recording online as well for parents to watch an in-person meeting. And then that can be our virtual meeting from now on. Instead of having to Zoom in or whatever, you can just go watch it on the GISD website.
Perfect.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Uh-huh.
And Heather Buffkin, you're up.
Hey, before we go on, this is Nova. I'm sorry. Tracy, is there any way that we could put on those opt-in letters, like that they can go on the website and see your presentation?
Oh, that's one thing that, yeah, we don't have that on there.
Because since it's right there and they know that, then if they start to have questions, then they see it in the letter.
Okay. I'll get that added. Thank you.
Okay. All right.
Good idea. Thank you. Heather Buffkin, she's here with us from the Brazos Pregnancy Crisis Center. She also partners with GISD, and so she's going to explain a little bit about how she works with our kids.
Okay, thank you. So yeah, my name's Heather Buffkin, and we do the sexual risk avoidance presentation. We present to 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 11th graders. We talk about goal setting, decision-making skills, dating violence, which we do that in tandem with the Mission Granbury. They help us in 6th grade and 9th and 11th grade. Recognizing an unhealthy relationship and what a healthy relationship looks like, the truth about pornography and its consequences, how to set healthy boundaries, starting over if you made a mistake, and then we talk about sexually transmitted diseases and infections. We do talk about internet safety and bullying behaviors. This really is about the whole person. We want these kids to be 100% healthy, and we want them to know that they're valuable and that they are worth waiting for. Ours are the same as Tracy's. They are an opt-in letter. So we do have to have the parent permission, and the presentations that we did last year should be linked on the GISD website as well. If you go to brazospregnancycenter.com and you look at our education tab, I believe it should say sexual risk avoidance on there, and you can click that, and that will give you the list of TEKS by grade that we meet, and an explanation of what we do and what we say. because it is a little different. Sixth grade is a little bit less about that abstinence piece and more about internet safety and bullying behaviors and how to communicate effectively and things like that. And then like 7th and 8th gets a little bit more, and then 9th and 11th we get a little bit more in depth because of the age and the mentality and how mature each grade level is. We kind of tweaked it a little bit. And I believe that we do still need to do a virtual 9th and 11th grade meeting, and we're working on getting the in-parent ones scheduled. And like Tracy, we are scheduled at GMS. Thank you all. And we're just working on getting everybody in for the year. So I think that's everything.
Thank you. And we are going to record when she does the 9th through 11th grade session. We're going to record it and have it online as well for a virtual opportunity.
Yes. And I want to piggyback on what Tracy said really quick, that I'm happy to talk to any parent. It is proven that kids listen to their parents, especially when it comes to sex and sexual activity. And so I'm more than happy for any parent to contact me. I want them to be involved in this with their kids. So, we're all about parent involvement.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. So Dr. Watts and I have been talking, and we are trying to figure out if we are going to have a standing order for EpiPens. So EpiPens, back in November 13th of 2013, President Obama encouraged the state to adopt laws requiring schools to have stock in EpiPens for the use of a student for emergencies. We currently only have EpiPens for students who have a prescription and a need for them. But as we all know, that sometimes kids get stung by bees or eat something that they didn't know that they were allergic to. And it makes it very hard for the nurses to get medical help quickly. And if we had EpiPens, sometimes that could definitely save lives. And so we're working on that to see. There's also a EpiPens for schools that I have been in contact with, and they will donate up to 20 EpiPens for free. And then for the elementary schools, they will do 2 packages for the smaller kids. For the dosage has to be different for the smaller kids and the bigger kids. So they would donate enough for both on the elementary campuses. So they've been great to work with us. And so as soon as if we get that approval for that and we get EpiPens, then that would be really beneficial for our schools and our nurses. Dr. Watts, did you want to add anything to that? Is she gone? Tammy, I see you talking, but are you talking to us?
I was actually, Miss Lutz, I can't hear you, and you're not muted.
Oh, you can't hear me?
I can hear you, Leah. I can't hear Watts. We heard her fine when she was on earlier, but I can't hear her now.
Okay, I don't see her. Do you see her on here?
I do see her on here.
Okay.
And I saw her trying to talk, and I see her now. So now try to unmute and now talk to me. See,
can you hear me now?
Yes.
There you are.
I wasn't really going to say anything. I was going to say you did a great job. I didn't have anything to add. So yes, hopefully we'll hear back from EpiPens that those are all approved, but we still need to get together the policy and then go to the board and make sure that they are going to approve that this time for us.
Yes, perfect. And we are looking at other districts and policies that they have in place. So when we get that together, we will present that and then take it to the board for the Board of Trustees to vote on.
Yes, sounds good.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. So last but not least, Kelly from T-Chat is here. Sorry that we put you last. You could have gone first and been done. So thank you for being patient and joining us. She is going to tell us a little bit about T-Chat that we adopted this year that we're super excited about. And you can tell us, Kelly, if we've used T-Chat yet. I know we're about to, not yet. Okay.
No, I'm not allowed to tell you that.
Oh, okay.
It's a very strange role that they're working with right now to see as far as the HIPAA violations or if that would be included in there. So We are excited to get to work with Granbury. I'm glad that I was put last because I got to hear about all the incredible things y'all are doing. So
Oh.
thank you for letting me come and join y'all today. But yeah, so I'm the program manager. I'm a psychologist by training and an LSSP, and I get the privilege of getting to do what I consider to be the coolest thing in mental health since, they invented CBT. And that is we get to provide kiddos access to care all across Texas. So Texas A&M is one of 12 health-related institutes in the state of Texas that is running a TCHAP program. And that stands for Texas Child Health Access through Telemedicine. What that means is we get to meet the needs of our community and we get to fill in the gaps when there are gaps available. And so currently we're in about 66% of the ISDs across Texas. Not us personally, but all 12 together, we make up 66% of the ISDs, where we get to meet with kiddos when they are in school with parent consent. We will meet with kiddos and provide teletherapy. Most of our sessions continue to be brief. The majority of our kiddos get about 5 sessions. For certain things like PTSD or grief and loss, they might get extended sessions. Or if, I am working with Johnny, sorry if your kid's name is Johnny. I love the name Johnny and it's my favorite go-to name. But if Johnny is doing really well in the 5 sessions, and I know that if we go 2 more sessions, he's not just going to have the good enough of 5, but he's going to have wellness in 7, we're going to go ahead and extend that with parent permission. We take all of our referrals from our school counselors because we want them to be within our circle of care. Because if we do a risk assessment and we have a safety plan, we want to be able to share that with the school. We also want to be able to share that with the parent. So we get that referral from the school counselor. After they've talked to the parents, said, hey, do you want TCHAT? It's a free service available. And then we talk to the parent. So our team will reach out to the parent or the guardian and really go over like, what is it? What is the risk benefit? What is brief therapy? How does that look? What are the options available? And then we get informed consent and we will get all the background information. What is it that leading you to want to seek therapy for your child at this time? What's the problem that you are seeing? What are your concerns? What are your goals for therapy? Because we really do try to make it we know that for kiddos that are in therapy, the best option is for parent engagement. So we want to increase the parent engagement as much as possible and really work with our parents as a team, because we're going to see the kiddo for, depending on the age, right? It might be 30 to 45-minute sessions, and that's once a week. The parent is with the kiddo way more than that. And so when we're working on interventions for emotional regulation, emotional identification, coping skills, problem solving, when we're doing those things in session, we want to make sure that our parents know what we're doing so that we can then work with them to collaborate. And when Johnny's having a bad day, they can use, hey, remember your therapist, they said to do this thing, let's try it, let's do it together. Because it builds that relationship with parent and child, and it also gives them that avenue because, like was said earlier in this meeting, kiddos listen to their parents. It's a thing. So yeah, that's the gist, a very short gist of what we do. We do provide services in English and Spanish, and now currently Vietnamese. And then we also, 96% of our services are teletherapy, but about 4% of our services are telepsychiatry. Again, that is with full parent consent and only if the parent is leading the charge on that. So we have an amazing child psychiatrist. Her name is Jennifer Tejada. She is also bilingual in English and Spanish. So she works really good at she's awesome. She gets mad at me because I say that too much, but she is a prescriber that truly believes in medications are going to be used as a means to help the kiddos. If their symptoms are too severe, then maybe they need medication so that they can get the benefit of therapy and then taper it back off. She will often see kiddos do a full psychiatric evaluation and not prescribe a medication. Because it's truly a parent decision. And so for our psychiatry services, while for our therapy services, maybe the parents are willing to check in with us at the end of session, or they'll follow up with us by phone, like after they're off work. So there's that option. But for psychiatry, the parent has to be present in the session. So Johnny logs on at school and Dr. Tejada is on. That session cannot start until the parent logs on, and they can log on from work, from home from wherever, just not like a public location because it is mental health care. So confidentiality is needed. So yeah, they can access that. And yeah, it's pretty cool. We've been around for about 3 years now. TCHAT was passed in the 2019 Texas legislature. It is a state funded program. It is free to the schools. It is free to the families. And if someone does go through psychiatry and they need medications, if financial concerns are there or there's a financial need, then we will definitely, Dr. Shayada does a great job of going off the $2 and $4 prescription list to really make sure that families have the access to the care that is needed. Yeah, that's the gist of what we do. It's pretty cool. Good stuff.
That's awesome. And we, I just finished a permission slip today and sent it to all of our counselors because several had asked, you know, how to get the permission slip so they could actually start their first TCHAT sessions with you guys. So thank you so much. And I love the part, I don't know if y'all heard it, but it's free. We all were like, oh, there's a catch somewhere, but it truly is free to our schools. So it's really incredible. Yeah. Does anyone have questions for Kelly while we have her here? Y'all are being way too.
I have one. Can I ask one?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Okay. So return on your counseling, what have y'all seen in lowering suicide rates?
Oh, it's effective in that actually. So, and that's across the board in mental health. I love to be like, yes, we're special. We do awesome stuff. But we know that with suicidality, when you talk about it, it kind of relieves that pressure cooker and it lets them reach out for help. And it gives a sense of belonging and connectedness, which is huge in mitigating suicidal behaviors, ideations, and actions. So we have had kiddos that come on and they absolutely have suicidal ideations. And, you know, from multiple times a day to can't stop thinking about it to every day. And typically by the end of TCHAT, those ideations have remitted. So we've come up with coping skills, problem solving skills, and connectedness to be able to get the thoughts to stop. Because truly what we know about suicidal ideations is if I'm feeling overwhelmed, if life is too much and I don't have the coping skills to deal with it or the problem solving skills or know what to do with this, I'm going to think of escape, right? It would be ridiculous for me to be suffering and be like, yes, I want to just keep suffering. And so we're able to give them those skills. And so we see a big change in suicidal ideations. We also, for kiddos, we will, you know, we are a brief therapy. So we're 5 sessions. However, in the world of therapy, we call it a doorknob confession, right? If in session 5, Johnny says, you know, I haven't told you about this, but I'm having these suicidal ideations, I'm going to extend him because ethically he's at a higher risk and I do not want to have him go without therapy at that time. We try to make referrals at session 1 for long-term care. If it's something we know that we can't remit in the 5 with Granbury, we'll be able to utilize your CIS and the different organizations there. But yeah, so suicidal ideation specifically, we see a drastic decrease and often elimination of those thoughts. We see a decrease in the behaviors related to it. But we also, so for our middle school and high schoolers, they will get, so we use measurement-based care a lot in healthcare now. And it's similar to what you get when you go to the pediatrician's office. A lot of pediatricians are given a PHQA. And so what that does is it looks at depressive symptoms and anxiety symptoms. They're just screeners. But we look at it at session 1 and throughout therapy. And what we have seen is that the majority of the kiddos that come on TCHAT, they'll show a 5-point change, which doesn't sound like, you're like, okay, 5 points. But what that means clinically and what you experience with your kiddo at home is that they go from having maybe major depressive disorder, severe. So I'm not getting out of bed. I'm not going to school. I'm not doing my homework. I want to be in my room all the time. I can't seem to wake up. I'm just in this constant state of fatigue, to moderate. Okay, so now they're going to school. They're doing some of their homework. They're maybe not getting straight A's, but they're putting effort forth. They're engaged again with their friends. Maybe they're back to going to basketball practice or whatever it may be. So a 5-point change on a PHQ, which is the depression scale, or a 5-point change on a GAD, which is anxiety, there's significant changes, not just as a child report, hey, I feel better, but the parents are like, man, my kid's doing better and I can see it. The teachers notice it. Their peers will notice it with a 5-point change. So it sounds brief and band-aidy, but it does show a significant change. And we get kiddos, typically in 5, we get them back to homeostasis. So like their typical level of functioning prior to needing therapy. And then, like I said, for some kiddos, if we know that with a couple more sessions, we'll achieve wellness, we'll go ahead with parent approval and extend those to 7.
I loved
That's
Kelly.
very amazing.
Sorry, Betsy. I love Kelly too, how you shared when y'all first started, you had to document in data, you had to turn in so much data, and the data even showed that the hospitals in the surrounding areas of where you were working showed that there were way less visits for suicides and things.
Yeah, and that data specifically came from the YAM program, which I don't remember. I don't think we're doing. I mean, it's an option if y'all want it ever. I'll happily talk to y'all about YAM.
Yes, we may hit that later.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you, Kelly. I'm so glad you got to come and share a little bit about it because you share much better than I do with all the details and
Thank y'all so much. Thanks for letting us partner with y'all and work with your kiddos and families and communities. And we are excited to get to increase mental wellness and health.
Yes, for sure. Thank you.
Bye,
The
y'all.
last thing I have is not on the agenda, but I had several people reach out yesterday with questions about a COVID update and where we are with COVID. So I just thought I would tell you, we are just following the same TEA guidelines that we had last year for children with symptoms to at least 5 days have passed since symptoms onset and fever-free, and their symptoms have improved before they come back to school. And children who test positive but do not have symptoms must stay at home for at least 5 days after the day that they were tested. So that is the protocol that we are following at this time. So just wanted to give you that information. Does anyone have any comments or questions or concerns about today's meeting or anything that we have discussed?
Great job, Leah. Good job.
Y'all have been way too easy with all the crazy chaos of technology. Hopefully our next meeting will either be a Zoom with Tammy again, or we may try the Microsoft Teams again. Who knows? But I will send an email invite for sure. And I'm thinking November 1st is what you can pencil in for our next meeting. It's also on a Wednesday, and we can do it at the same time at noon. So.
Will you send us an invite, please?
I will.
Nimsy and I have one question. We
Okay.
were wondering, do we use the opt-in letter that you sent us?
Oh, or the one that Tracy sent.
Right.
Tracy, would you rather them just use your opt-in letter since you just created that and changed that up this year?
I haven't seen what you did, so I don't know.
Let's just use yours.
Okay.
Well, the one we did, it was an older version, but you've updated yours, so we'll just use Tracy's.
Well, does Tracy's cover Heather also? So the one that you sent to us, Leah, covered everybody, right?
Yes, you just had to put in the title of who we were using. Like you'd have to put in Brazos Pregnancy Crisis Center or Child Advocacy Center.
Right. And so for each presentation, you're going to have one. So you can use Tracy's for hers. You can use ours for Heather, and you can pre-populate that presentation before you make copies.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yeah, we tried to put more information so parents maybe will be less confused. And I have said this in emails, but just to reiterate, for ours, if you'll put both dates on that letter, because we're going to be there 2 times, then you don't have to send a letter more than once.
Perfect. And I will communicate all that out to the counselors. Okay, well, thank you all. Have a very good day, and we will see you November 1st. Bye.
Leah?
Yes.
Did you have questions for us? You had said something about asking a question.
You know what? I did, but then I decided not to ask them. What my question was, do y'all go to different campuses? Are you stationed only at the campus that you're assigned to?
Program managers with case management are stationed at a specific school. Erica Espinosa, as the mental health counselor, can go between GMS, AMS, and the high school.
Perfect. Thank
ma'am.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
You actually can go to 4 different campuses. Bye, Anthony. You have a great day. Thanks for coming.
What's the
She can
other
actually
campus?
go to 4 campuses. She only goes to 3, but she could go to Stars if she wanted to. Our contract with them has her going up to 4, up to a caseload of 30 kids. So that's our contract with community and schools for Erica. Everyone else stays housed where they're at and just really supports that team.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, Tammy, I think that I got everybody's votes written down and everybody in attendance written down.
Yay. Okay, then I'm gonna jump on my other meeting.
Okay, thank you for recording. If you'll,
it.
sorry, if you'll send me the recording, that'd be great.
The recording I will. I'll
Of the
figure
Zoom.
it out. Oh, I didn't stop recording. Nah,